Hello again, everybody. I'm Scott Casburn. It's time to take a look at this week's news and features from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. As you know, it's a busy time of year for wrestling here in the U.S. The collegiate season, well, it's winding down, and the international season is just now heating up. This coming weekend, USA Wrestling will host the Freestyle World Cup at the Forum in L.A. We, of course, will get to that later in the program. But first, why don't we start with what's going on at the collegiate level? We kick it off in Madison, Wisconsin. The 100th edition of the Big Ten Championships were held there in front of a huge crowd. They came out to watch some of the nation's best Division I programs do battle, and they weren't disappointed. The Penn State Nittany Lions came in as the defending conference champs and got performances from their two top stars in this year's finale. The Lions and Hawkeyes of Iowa were neck and neck throughout the event. One of the stars that PSU put out there, the senior David Taylor, won his fourth career Big Ten title with a 14-5 decision over Iowa's Nick Moore at 165. With the win, the three-time NCAA finalist put Penn State in the lead and earned himself some hardware. Taylor was named the Outstanding Big Ten Wrestler of the Year and the Outstanding Wrestler of the tournament.
The biggest thing is, I think when you grow up as a kid, this is what you picture. You picture wrestling the Big Ten finals. You wrestle. Think about every win you do is important for the team race, and that's at least what I dreamt for when I was a kid.
Moving on to 184, two-time NCAA champ Ed Ruth took on Iowa's Ethan Lofthouse. Ruth was as dominant as always, defeating Lofthouse 10-2 for his fourth career Big Ten title while at Penn State. Ruth's win also clinched the team title for the Nittany Lions.
This is a wonderful opportunity. I was happy to come out here, support my team, represent my school in the fashion that I did. I can't be any more happy with the results.
When it was over, Penn State finished 5.5 points ahead of Iowa and qualified 10 for the championships of the NCAA. It was their fourth straight Big Ten team title. Lion coach Cale Sanderson talked about it.
I think our whole team wrestled well. We had 10 guys that qualified here, and for the national tournament, that gives us 10 guys a chance to battle for All-American.
Well, the Iowa Hawkeyes held the lead early in the finals when senior Tony Ramos topped Wisconsin senior Tyler Graff 2-1 at 133. It was the first Big Ten title for Ramos, who finished second the past 2 years.
Drop my hips back, ride the ankle, ride the leg. They're going to hit me for stalling. They want to boo. He didn't do a single thing on his feet. I don't care. He backed, he blocked with his arm. Let them say what they want. I'm the one walking out of here with the title.
Well, the Minnesota Golden Gophers finished the dual season as arguably the top dual team in all of Division I, but would finish the Big Ten Championships a distant third. The Gophers were led by two-time NCAA champ Tony Nelson, a heavyweight. He beat Indiana's Adam Chalfant 2-1 in overtime for his third career Big Ten crown.
I had about a month off after the Penn State duel, and I put in extra time and worked hard, and it paid off here.
Two-time NCAA champ and Ohio State junior Logan Stieber captured his third Big Ten title. He had a decisive 7-3 win over Penn State true freshman Zane Rutherford. 141 class was stacked. He was avenging a loss, of course, to Rutherford from earlier in the year.
Obviously, he's got great coaches at Penn State. And I think just him being at the world level, such a young age, cadet world champion, and the freestyle circuit, those are the best guys.
Now we go to 197, the final there. Stieber's Buckeye teammate Nick Heflin downed Penn State's Morgan McIntosh 5-3 in sudden victory.
For the shot, I misdirect their hand, I bring the knee in, and I go right behind. And honestly, I couldn't believe I won. At that time, I was actually, mentally prepared to go to the right out.
Well, Nebraska had its first two Big Ten individual champs. We start with two-time All-American James Green. He scored two early takedowns for a 7-4 win over returning NCAA champ Derek St. John of Iowa.
A lot of guys, they watch video and, try and adjust to other people. But a lot of guys, they got to adjust to me. And, some people, they do it better than others, and I just got to kind of up the tempo. So that's what I did.
Next up, 174, All-American Robert Kokich started strong and finished with a 6-4 victory over Iowa's Mike Evans.
I just had to get back to my game plan. I think I backed off a little bit and tried to soak the rest of the match out. And, against good guys like Mike Evans, you can't do that.
And the 125 finals were just as exciting. Returning Big Ten and NCAA champ Jesse Delgado of Illinois, well, he edged out Penn State's Nico Megaludis in the 125-pound finale. It was a rematch of the 2013 NCAA championships.
I guess, he got to my legs a lot more than I wanted him to, and he was being the offensive wrestler that match, but it was a fight, and when you get in fights, it's whoever's tougher is going to win.
Next up, 149, it was Northwestern's Jason Surtzes who was named the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Why? Well, he beat Nebraska's Jake Soufflon in the finals, and what a performance it was throughout the entire championship.
I like to think I match up well with anyone, but I mean, Soufflon's a goer. He's going to go for 7 minutes, whether he's winning 14-0 or he's losing 14-0.
Your wrestling news continues when we return. We'll be right back.
ASICS has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
Hi, I'm Wayne Boyd, Director of Operations and Development for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club. The club was founded to help wrestling worldwide, especially at our senior level, of course at the collegiate level and the high school level. But the most important level for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club is the kids level. And these are some of the guys today that will be tomorrow's Olympic champions. Let's hear it, guys.
Titan Mercury!
That's Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, San Marino, California.
Now let's travel to Philadelphia. The EIWA Championships took place on the campus of the University of Pennsylvania at the historic Palestra. The Cornell Big Red came in as the heavy favorites and didn't disappoint. Rob Cole's team ran away with their 8th straight conference title. An impressive 4 champions went home to Ithaca. Cornell's top-ranked 125-pounder Nishan Garrett, well, he had to battle for a tight 2-1 win over David Terrell of American in the finals. It was his second EIWA crown.
It's not how I want to win or how I wrestle or practice or drill, but sometimes you have to just take the wins and just accept what you have to do.
Chris Villalonga added to the Big Red total with a solid 4-2 win over Lehigh's Mitch Minotti at 149.
This summer I took the time out to work on my mental game, build my confidence back to where I used to be in high school when I was on top, and as you can see this entire year, it's been paying out.
Well, freshman star Gabriel Dean at 184 kept his torrid wrestling streak alive. 3-1 the win. It was a finals victory over Lawrence Thomas of Penn. Dean also boasts an early season win over 2-time NCAA champ Ed Ruth of Penn State. Don't think that's not out there for you NCAA fans to think about.
I wasn't a household name, as you call it. I was doing all the same things that I still am doing now. You don't change your mentality. You don't get caught up in all that stuff. It's just distractions from what? Wrestling hard that 7-minute match, and whoever you wrestle, it doesn't matter.
Well, the Cornell fans were brought to their feet when the 197-pound Jace Bennett won the team's 4th title with a close 5-4 battle over Cody Reed of Binghamton.
And I feel pretty good. It was a good tournament for me. That was almost lost it there at the end, but came back, got the reversal with 1 second left. That was real exciting.
In the end, Cornell qualified 8 for the NCAAs, and Cornell's coach, Rob Cole, talked about the performance.
I think I'm spoiled because I think that we scored more points in this tournament than we've ever scored in any of the 8 championships we've had, and this is the least satisfying as far as how we felt as far as a team performance.
Cornell was the only team to finish with more than one EIWA champ this year. Runner-up Lehigh finished in second with a whopping 55.5 points behind the Big Red. Lehigh was led by sophomore Mason Beckman, who captured his first EIWA title with a 4-1 win over Drexel's Kevin DeVoy at 133.
It's always in practice you go through the different situations, but it's definitely different when you're out here. Things are on the line. Going to nationals is on the line. And you just get a feel for it, and you understand that things don't change. Just keep wrestling. Try to score the next point.
Winning the Outstanding Wrestler Award was Harvard's Todd Preston at 141. He capped off a strong tournament with an 8-6 win over Hofstra's Luke Vaith in sudden victory.
Feels great. I've been working so hard for this all year. It's been tough. I've been placing at Midlands, then placed at Vegas, and I've been working so hard just to get here. Make it to Oklahoma City for the first time, so I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Well, Boston University will drop their program after this year, but that didn't stop the Terriers from finishing strong. In their first year in this conference, Carl Adams' team came away with their first EIWA champ. Nestor Tafur took home the crown at 57 with an 8-2 finals victory over Columbia's Marcus Scheidel.
I was training for something, my own goal, something bigger than me too. Like I said, alumni legacy, 50 years of a wrestling program, Coach Adams, it was all positive energy. But at the same time, I did think about that a lot, and kind of kept me focused, kept me my mind on my goals.
Also, their first year in the conference, Hofstra came home with an individual title when Joseph Booth defeated Dylan Palacio of Cornell 6-4 at 165 pounds. It took overtime to get the job done.
Next week's going to be our peak. This is the first time I ever felt in the preseason that, postseason that I have momentum going with me. I haven't been down on myself or anything. It feels great.
Navy's Matthew Miller came home with the 174-pound crown, pinning Bradley Wookie of Penn in 2 minutes 46 seconds.
Penn to win. I always said when you're like 10 years old, figure why extend the match. I don't really like tech falls or anything like that. I like to end the match as quick as possible. So.
Well, closing out the night, Bucknell heavyweight Joe Stolfi beat Billy Smith of Rutgers in the finals 9-7.
Whenever I was people would I hate watching heavyweights, they're so boring. And I knew that I was going to be big, but I never wanted to have a boring match. I always want to keep it exciting. Just because we're bigger doesn't mean we can't be moving and scoring.
Well, from Philly to Kent, Ohio, that is, the site of the conference championships of the expanded Mid-American Conference. The Missouri Tigers came in as defending champs, but Northern Iowa came in strong after an undefeated dual meet season. As you may have guessed, the tournament was not decided until the final few bouts. Doug Schwab's Panthers opened the finals on fire, winning the first 3 weights. Dylan Peters got things started with a 10-7 decision over Eastern Michigan's Jared Germain in the finals at 125.
Good getting in my attacks, but sometimes a little over-aggressive, rushing in, getting hit with a slide-by, but when I move my feet, move my hands, I'm scoring attacks, so that's good. Just minor adjustments need to be made.
Well, Northern Iowa's undefeated Joe Colon entered the event with the #1 national ranking. He left the same way with a 10-3 win over Joe Roth of Central Michigan.
I'm glad I was only a junior last year. I mean, this is my life. I've had a dream to win a national title my whole life, and to get another opportunity to do that, words can't describe it.
Panther Joey Laser kept UNI on a roll with a pin over Chris McCade of Old Dominion. He executed a nice spladle in the 141-pound finale.
I came into this tournament, my coach just talked to me and said, forget it. Forget about everything that happened at the beginning of the year. Everything's a race, whole new chapter. So I came into this tournament, I'm 0-0. That's what I started off with. Now I'm 3-0.
UNI crowned their 4th MAC champion at 165. It was Cooper Moore who defeated Ohio's Harrison Hightower 11-5.
I need to believe in myself, and expect to be on the podium and not take a backseat to anybody. I don't care who I'm out there against. I should be looking to win. So, just believe in myself and the tools that I have.
Well, then it was Missouri's turn. They scored their first title at 49. It was the top-ranked Drake Hodeschalt edging out Old Dominion's Lenny Richardson 3-1, but it took sudden victory to get the job done.
Yeah, it's different. It's definitely tougher making it 2 days. You got to wait twice, and but it's also a good thing because Nationals is coming up in 2 weeks, and just helps you prepare for that.
It all came down to Tiger star Jaden Cox at 197. He avenged a loss early in the year to Ohio's Phil Wellington with a 10-1 major decision. With the win from Cox, the Tigers locked up the team title just 2.5 points ahead of the Panthers. We talked with Missouri head coach Brian Smith.
Drake wins, 57 LaValle pins, 65 we get a big win, 74 we get a pin, 84 we get a tech fall, and 97 we get a major. We just scored a half dozen, I don't know what we scored in bonus points, but the kids never quit.
Well, with 4 champs and a strong effort, Panther coach Doug Schwab.
The scoring system is what it is. You know, you don't have to like it. I'd never known the 6. You know, it's different in how many they place, and there's only 2-point separation between champ and second, and 3 points between third and first. You know, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Ohio University crowned 2 individual champions. Returning All-American Cody Walters won his second MAC with a 5-2 victory over ODU's Billy Curling at 174. That was avenging a loss from earlier in the year.
I went out there, I knew Ottinger I'd never beat, and I knew that was going to be a war. So I just went out there and attacked him. Was brutal with my hands for as long as the match was. I planned 7 minutes, but it ended up being longer.
Ohio heavyweight Jeremy Johnson claimed his second MAC title. He stopped Missouri's Devin Mellon 7-1.
I just need to keep grinding. I'm better when the match goes even longer, so I just got to keep the match going long and use my conditioning to cause that dogfight, you know.
Ian Miller claimed the title at 157 for Kent State. He knocked off Central Michigan's Luke Smith 9-4.
Pretty much everyone I wrestle right now is going to be defensive until I get up into the top-ranked dudes. So if I just go out there and I put the pressure on them, they usually break.
Jack Deschal won the 184-pound gold for Old Dominion when he defeated UNI All-American Ryan Loader. It was 4-2 in sudden victory.
Mentally preparing for my matches is a big thing. What I really focus on, because you can be real good, but if you're not mentally focused for your match, warming for your match, probably not going to have a good match.
Your USA Wrestling News continues. We'll be right back.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Well, the Big 12 title went to the Oklahoma State Cowboys. They were led by 6 champs, finishing 35 points ahead of their arch rival, Oklahoma. Virginia Tech won the ACC championships with 4 champions, topping runner-up Pittsburgh by 20 points. And the EWL championships went to Edinburgh. The Scots came away with 5 champs, finishing 27 points ahead of Bloomsburg. How did North Dakota State do? Well, they won their first NCAA West Regional Championships is how. They had 3 champs and an 8-point margin over Wyoming. Well, the Southern Conference title went to Chattanooga. They had 2 champs and a 10.5-point lead over the Citadel. And it was just last week Oregon State won the Pac-12 title with 3 champs, 21 points ahead of host Stanford. Now all eyes turn to Oklahoma City for the D1 Nationals. That will take place on the 20th through the 22nd of March, and we'll look to see each and every one of you down in Oklahoma. Now let's head to Topeka, Kansas. The NAIA held their national championships last weekend, and Grandview of Iowa won their 3rd straight team championship, tying an NAIA record with 193 total team points. The Vikes also set a record with a 108.5-point margin of victory. Grandview was led by heavyweight Eric Thompson, who won his 3rd NAIA title with a victory over Courtney Freeman of Cumberland. The score, 17-2. 3 other Grandview wrestlers won titles: Ryak Finch at 125, Brandon Wright at 141, and Chad Lohman at 165. Lohman won his 2nd straight national title with a 7-5 victory over Ethan Heinbach of Montana State Northern. Viking coach Nick Mitchell talked about his team's victory.
We're just trying to find out really all year long how good can we be, and hopefully by finding that out along the way we'd win the title too, and that's what's happened so far. We're finding out how good we can be, and we're going to win the title as a team.
Well, Great Falls of Montana finished in 2nd with 84.5 points. They edged out 3rd place Montana State Northern by a single point. Oregon's Brock Gutches won his 3rd straight title at 74 with a 3-2 win over Jared Miller of Montana State Northern. He was also named the most outstanding wrestler. Lindsey Wilson came away with 2 champions, by the way. It was Jamil Bright who won his 2nd title at 184 with a 6-5 win over Cody Linton of Cumberland. Joe Cozart avenged his championship final loss from last year with a 5-3 victory over Dallas Hutchins of Grandview at 157. And winning their first national titles, Bryce Shoemaker of Baker at 133, Jake Williams of Cumberland at 49, and Jesse Hellinger of Dickinson State at 197. Shoemaker was Baker's first NAIA champion. Well, a pair of college national tournaments are set for this weekend. The NCAA Division II Nationals will take place in Cleveland, Ohio, and the NCAA Division III Nationals will take place in Cedar Rapids. Stay tuned. USA Wrestling Weekly continues.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
Well, let's switch gears a little and talk some international wrestling. The Freestyle World Cup will take place in LA this coming weekend. The top 10 teams in the world have all arrived in LA already. Well, the action kicks off Saturday and will run through Sunday the 16th. Both days are action-packed. Tickets still available. Fans are encouraged to come out to the Forum and enjoy the 2 days of elite wrestling competition. Join the fans of the world. If you can't make it, check out the live stream on themat.com and on FILA's website as well. Team USA's final lineup has been set. 16 athletes have weighed in for competition, including Olympic and 2-time world champ Jordan Burroughs at 63, world bronze medalist Olympian Travel Delegnev at 275, 2-time world team members Brent Metcalf at 43 and Reese Humphrey at 134. World team members Keith Gavin at 189 and J.D. Bergman round out the squad. While the U.S. men's freestylers are competing in L.A., the U.S. women's team will be in Tokyo, Japan. It's the Women's World Cup there, featuring the top 8 teams in the world. We, of course, will have a full update for you on the performance there on next week's show. Well, we had a FILA Junior Greco-Roman squad of wrestlers traveling to Austria for the Austrian Junior Greco Open. Top performance there from the U.S. came from Mason Manville of New Jersey. He took home the gold at 145. Manville won 6 straight matches, defeating Stephen Clement of France in the championship finale. Also earning a bronze medal, Barrett Stanghill of Montana at 163. It was Stanghill who opened with a loss, then closed out with 2 wins. He defeated Andre Kolger of Austria to claim his medal. The U.S. had 5 other athletes who placed in the top 6 in their weights, while Team USA finished 5th in the standings. The U.S. team also participated in joint training exercises with Austrian athletes. Overall, it was a successful event for our young Greco stars. Well, you've heard about it. It's time for our USA Wrestling Photo of the Week contest. The pictures are sent in from around the country and are being considered for our contest page in USA Wrestler Magazine and our USA Wrestling Facebook page. This week's photo was taken by Cheryl Hillis, and it shows 11-year-old Hunter Hillis of Kingsview Middle School in Maryland on his way to the 90-pound gold medal at the DSAWL Championships at Oakdale High. You can have your photographs considered for our contest simply by emailing them to Gary Abbott at gabbott@usawrestling.org. Folks, that'll do it for this week's program. And from all of us here at USA Wrestling, I'm Scott Casper, and thanks for watching.